How's it going, everybody? Rye here today, and we are here with our expansion draft franchise. I know, guys, it took a while for us to get to the expansion draft, but we're here, and let's have some fun. It's the summer. It's towards the end of the life cycle of NHL 24, so let's dive into it, guys. And the team we are using are the Europe Vanguards. Those of you that joined the live stream on Tuesday, thank you for being there and watching the creation. If those of you that haven't seen it, go check that out if you wanted to see the jerseys and all the little details and stuff we put into the team. But guys, with this, we are a European-only team. So that is going to be the challenge through this franchise mode. We are only allowed to select players that are born in Europe. So Swedes, Finns, Germany, Switzerland, Czech Republic, or the Czechia, I think is the appropriate term now. Sorry about that. But basically anybody based in Europe, there's the Belarusians, Russians, right? All of that. No Canadians, no Americans. And our goal is to take down all those North American-based teams and show European dominance. So we will be liberating the Europeans from their North American teams here in just a minute with the expansion draft. But I think there's a couple things in between. Let's go ahead and jump into those. But this is the first expansion draft I've done in NHL 24. So welcome to the Europe Vanguards. I'm going to keep calling them the European Vanguards because that's what I wanted them to be called, was the European Vanguard. But the Europe Vanguards, I think, is also fine. I just had to choose a team name, so I couldn't pick the city. But there we go. We're ready for the expansion draft. There's the salary cap, and St. Louis goes up to 2 from 11. We get shafted. Columbus goes from, they go from 2 to 1. St. Louis goes up from 11 to 2. Anaheim drops from 1 to 3, and we drop from 3 to 4. So we're still going to get a good player, but man, oh man, St. Louis got a good jump there. So pretty much the decision we make in the expansion draft will decide whether the franchise sinks or swims in its first year. Cool. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm the GM. I guess that's the owner. But we're ready to jump into the expansion draft. I will show you guys the roster. Let me go ahead and get through this, and then we can break down all the decisions that I made. So guys, this hurts a lot. Jeremy Swayman is left exposed by the Bruins, who are choosing to keep Allmark over him. If I was doing a regular expansion draft, this would be an absolute slam dunk pick, but he's American, obviously. Oh, we can't take 90 overall Jeremy Swayman, but that's okay. There's some other options here. I'm actually surprised at how non-European the Boston Bruins are. So a little bit of tougher options here. It's going to be fun, though. I hope you guys are liking it. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments of if you guys are going to enjoy this challenge. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be pretty interesting, too, especially when we take a look at those prospects at the top of the board. All right, guys, so here is the first snapshot of the roster. Let's go ahead and take a look at the couple goalies that I was able to select. Philip Gustafsson, Kevin Lankinen, and then Justice Annunen. Lankinen was like the only European exposed by the Predators. So he has to be our backup goaltender. Philip Gustafsson makes sense. He's going to have 3 more years, sub 4. I mean, I feel like we got to actually have a good goaltending tandem. And then Justice Annunen, maybe we end up moving on from Gustafsson or Lankinen, and then Annunen can work his way into being the backup or the starting goaltender. Now looking at the blue line, there's only so much I can do. I'm also not trying to be good right away, right? We want to get some high picks, pick some awesome prospects to hopefully root for in the future. But Chernak and Boqvist are the top 2. Chernak, 8 more years at 4.77. So an 85 overall defensive defenseman he's going to be solid as heck. And then Adam Boqvist, we got some upside here. Right? He's an offensive defenseman that's got great puck skills, good senses, still solid at defense, a good skater, right? Not physical, but if he's paired with Chernak, I'm not asking him to be physical, although that would be righty and righty. But then we have Alexander Romanov, too. A two-way defender with a good physical category, plays the game, pretty well-rounded. The Russian here, and then Jan Ruda. So, some of these guys I had to just take because I needed to hit a certain requirement. I actually found it difficult to find defensemen that I could acquire. And, I originally had Victor Olofsson from the Buffalo Sabres because I'm like, I'm going to be overloaded with defensemen because that's how I feel like it always is. There's always more defensemen available than forwards. But in this instance, when I can't take Canadians or Americans, it became actually kind of tough towards the end to find some players. So we got Yokiharu Olimata, Eric Brandstrom, Nikita Zaitsev. The Zaitsev one, I hopefully can move on from him sooner rather than later with $4.5 million for another year. Don't want that. There's Juuso Valimaki here. We didn't get too much prospect type players. We've got Boqvist. We've got Romanov. You can count maybe Yokiharu and Brandstrom in that category too. They low top four. They feel like upside swings. And speaking of upside swings, we'll take a look at the forwards, right? We have some solid starting players like Teuvo Teravainen here with an X factor. Nino Niederreiter and Victor Arvidsson. Ivan Barbashev, right? So, these guys, the top three, we could easily ship them on immediately at the draft or after the expansion draft here, or at the deadline, right? These guys expiring contracts. Nino Niederreiter has a 3-year extension too kicking in, so that would be a little bit shaky with maybe a potential suitor, but we'll see. But Ivan Barbashev is going to be here for the long haul probably, and he looks like a really, really well-rounded player, right? You look at the underlying stats as an 84, you're like, okay, but then you look at his shooting category, you look at his senses, his defense, his puck skills. He is so well-rounded. I don't know how this guy's not higher rated. I mean, I guess maybe the physical category, but I don't know. He's got like all 87s everywhere, and yet he's rated as an 84. So I don't get it. Nils Höglander, though, was probably the one I was most excited about getting. A lot of Vancouver fans, I know you guys listen to the podcast, love Nils Höglander here. He's a goal scorer for sure. Two-way forward again, that Ivan Barbashev build where he looks a lot better than his overall suggests he actually is. So I'm excited to see how he simulates. You got Lars Eller, Kalle Järnkrok, Radek Faksa. I was just kind of going for some veteran depth down the middle. If we could find it, right? That's always tough to find. Silfverberg, Jesper Boqvist from the Bruins. And then, there he is. Kaapo Kakko. I decided to take him over Philip Hedl just because he's on a 1-year deal, low elite. We can put him on the first line, see how he does. If he does end up just taking off as far as his potential, we might have a stud here. 80 overall is not bad at all. Low elite, like I said, the underlying stats, they aren't the best, but as a two-way forward, he's got a really good shot. Hopefully he can turn into an offensive dynamo for us. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I figured we might as well get a top prospect rather than just taking an 84 in his mid-20s. We've got those guys, and if Kakko gets time on the top line and we bottom out as a team and we have to draft somebody at the top and he doesn't pan out, oh well, we can find his replacement there. But I feel like ultimately this is a solid enough team, not too much potential. So that is one thing we have to keep in mind, is there's not a ton of potential on this team. Extensions that we did pick up, Alexei Protas, I believe, is from Belarus, is the flag. He's got a 5-year, $3.375 million extension after his very cheap contract ends. High top 9 power forward. This is a guy that could probably slot higher in the lineup than he will be. Luotsarainen from the Florida Panthers here. He's got 1 year left at his 1.5, and then a 3-year, $3 million extension. And he's 24, medium top 6, right? He's still got some potential as a two-way forward. So we're going to try and give ice time to the guys that are like really young, and give them some help. So we'll get the lines done in a minute, because there's plenty to do in between then and now. But at least that's what I'm thinking, is a couple young guys on a line, and then an established guy like Teravainen, right? Like Protas, Teravainen and Kakko on the first line, and then Luotsarainen with Arvidsson and Niederreiter on the second line, that kind of thing, just to give these guys ice time and some help around them to help them grow. But ultimately, I'm pleased with the team. I think the goaltenders look fine. I think the skaters are actually better than I thought they'd be. Chernak and Teravainen are our big two. So let's get it going into the regular draft. Let's submit this. Your first edition of the Europe Vanguards is now complete. Take it in, guys. It's beautiful. All the names that I am probably going to butcher throughout this series. So if you are, European and you're listening to me, I apologize in advance. I am trying, and if you want to leave me some suggestions on how to say the names the right way down in the comment section, it is very much appreciated. So let's go ahead and get to the draft. Let's take a look at maybe some players. We've gained locker room chemistry because we didn't have anybody in the locker room before this. Okay. Take a look at the draft class, though. Yikes. Oh, of course. Medium franchise Ivan Kondratiev Guys, we got to move up to number 1. He's from Ukraine. That's like what we need. This is exactly what we need. 200-foot game. He's got goal scoring magic hands. I'm going to see if I can move up because the other guy would be Vyacheslav Vorobyev, 5'8", 168. So very quick, very shifty, but a medium franchise, 6 foot. Oh my God. He's NHL ready. Plays like Mikko Koivu. Guys, we got to move up because otherwise we're kind of stuck taking Morrison. There's so many Americans in this draft. What the hell? There's Jesse Pulkkinen, Noah Valley, Callie Olason, right? We got a lot of guys here in the middle round. Or in the middle of the first round, but we got to move up. We got to get Ivan Kondratiev. I absolutely have to get a medium franchise sniper. We got to see what it's going to take to get Columbus's pick. I will literally give up whatever it takes to get up to number 1. Whatever Columbus wants, no trades found. Okay. Offer a trade. I got to keep an eye on the clock now too, because we need to go to Columbus here. I'm going to throw whatever they want at them. I'll give them our first, right? Obviously, they're going to like that. Give them our first. There we go. We're planning on bottoming out. Oh, shoot, we don't have a lot of trade value. Eric Chernak. They want Eric Chernak. Would it go through? Trade rejected. Okay. I will also give you Kelly Yarncrook. You guys seem to like him. They'd have more than 45 skills. Shit. Okay, we may have to give up picks. I'll give up a second round pick. First, second, and Chernak for the first overall pick. Trade rejected. Oh my God. Okay. I'll give up a second too. That's fine. How about next year's second? You guys want next year's second too? Trade rejected. Oh my God, guys. I don't think we're going to be able to get, we don't have enough value. What about goalies? Do they want a goalie? There's no value in the goalies. All right. 213. I could give up Teravainen. And they'd have too many skaters in the org. We'll go ahead and just skaters match at the block. Who do you guys want to get rid of? I will absolutely take good Branson off your hands. Absolutely. I'll do that deal in a heartbeat. Trade rejected. Oh my God. I don't want to give up. But next year's pick, it's the Celebrini year, but he's not in the game. So like, if I give up next year's first, is this crazy? It's a medium franchise guy. It's a medium. He's going to instantly be worth way more than this. Maybe I can keep Teravainen and I'll take good Branson. I'll give him 2 firsts, a second, and Chernak. Trade rejected. Oh my God. Okay. How do we get up? How do we get up? Do we have any skaters that they want? No, of course we don't. Oh, of course it's Columbus. Teravainen. Of course we didn't win it. Teravainen, go. Oh my God, quite far off. I can't get up and get him. There's nothing. This is literally I could give up another first round pick, but I feel like then that's kind of getting irresponsible. Can I give up was I already giving up? Yeah, I was already giving up a second this year. Maybe a next year's second. They would like more. A first and oh God, next year. And oh God. Trade rejected, quite far off. Oh my God. Teravainen, stay on the team. Give up a second this year. Get rid of good Branson. Get Branson off there. Is that going to go through? Trade rejected, but the value is too far off. Oh my God. I'd have to give up like 3 first round picks. I'd have to give up like 3 first round picks just to go up and get this franchise guy. Am I selling the farm for this? I mean, I'm not going to find a franchise European, I feel like, for a couple years. I'll give up 3 first, Chernak in a second. Oh my God. Okay, I'll keep the second. I'll give up 4 firsts. I will give you 4 first round picks to move up, Columbus. This is so irresponsible right now, but I am going to do it. Chernak and 4 firsts for first. Oh my God, quite far off. Are you kidding me? I'm giving up 4 for, okay, you know what? I'm just going to screw it. Let's just see. 5 first round picks. 5 first round picks. Would you do it for 5 first round picks? They did it. Oh my God, we have the pick. We have the pick. I just gave up 5 first round picks, but we have a medium. Oh my God. What did I just start this franchise off with? A banging trade. What did I just do? Oh, he better be so fucking good. He better be so good. Ivan Kondratiev, I just sold the freaking farm for him. 5 first round picks. We are going to have no first round picks for a long time. Oh my God, what did I just do? I don't care. We're in it. Make the pick. There he is. 81 overall sniper, medium franchise with some X factors. Oh, the shooting category in the low 90s already. 87 offensive awareness. This is a good player. He's got elite edges, tape to tape, relentless, and shock and awe. Oh my God. Oh, I'm literally, guys, I'm shaking. I just gave up so many first round picks for that guy. Yeah, well, we do get to keep our players. Columbus, I want my picks back. I want my goddamn picks back. No trades found. Great. How about this one? Oh, nope. They think they're going to be better than us by then. Columbus is not a dude. I just gave up 5 years of first round picks. There it is. There it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took 5 first round picks to move up 3 spots. Of course, we couldn't win the freaking lottery, but we now have a Ukrainian medium franchise cornerstone. I feel like I can get these picks back. Or at least something. I might be able to do something, because if we move on from a guy like Chernak, or I mean, Chernak's not going to get us a first. What happens? What if we do end up trading him? We could get okay, the Hurricanes want him for a first and a second. That is promising. That is very promising. The Vegas Golden Knights want to give us a first round pick. I'm fine with that. You know what? Let's talk to Vegas. Let's talk to Vegas. I could get a first round pick back, and we shed Chernak's 8 years, 4.7. They want to give us Brisson. Brendan Brisson. He's okay. I want a first. I want next year's first, Vegas. Okay, how's that sound? Okay, that sound good? They don't have any other picks. They really don't have any picks. I want this. Trade rejected. Okay, I figured it wasn't going to meet the... But look, we could get a first. A next year's first from Vegas. Who, I mean, what's their cap situation looking like? Do they have to sign anybody? Salary. Actually, sort by overall. Who do they're going to have to sign Marchessault. They've got 8 years of 7.3 for no... They're just good, though, aren't they? Like, the overalls are good. Let's call Carolina back, because Carolina expressed interest in Chernak too. They have Gensel now, which replaces Teuvo Teravainen. A first, they want to give up their first this year. What about next year? They don't want to give up their first next year, but I'll take it anyway. It doesn't have a lot of value. And then a second in 2 years. So a 24 first and a 25 second. Trade rejected. It's too far off. Okay, that's kind of close. We get a next year's first for Chernak. Vorobiev. Oh my God, that is a steep drop off. And because like I said, guys, when is the next time we're gonna find a European this good at the top of the draft? 81 medium franchise. Oh, sniper. Like, he is the cornerstone of this franchise. And now I don't have picks. F them picks. We don't need picks. We just need players. We do need picks back, though. I think moving Chernak, I think, is probably our best bet. He's got the most value of anybody. I don't think it's going to get any higher. I think it's actually going to get lower. Yeah, I mean, I could package some of these players, right? Because not all these forwards can play. Right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then down here, Jesper Boqvist isn't playing, Nosek isn't playing, Torpchenko's not playing, Janmark's not playing, Gurianov, Yolanin, Silfverberg, none of those guys are playing. So, maybe moving Teuvo Teravainen. No, Kalle Järnkrok. He's got good value, believe it or not. What would somebody give me for Kalle Järnkrok? A third, a fourth, Harrison. Okay, so there are trades to be made. The Carolina Hurricanes want to give me a second and a third next year. What if I just took a second next year and a fifth next year from Edmonton for Kalle Järnkrok? That would float my boat. My boat would be floating with that trade. A fourth this year and a second next year from the Islanders. The Islanders are probably going to be worse than Edmonton, if I had to guess. So that second would probably be a lot higher valued, and I could probably rework that trade. Oh my God, guys. Trading 5 years worth of first was so irresponsible. The Canadian second round pick from next year. I may do the Islanders second round pick next year, as well as some others. thrown in here. But Calle Yarncrook doesn't hurt us at all, and we get a second-round pick, which I know is not a first, but picks are picks at this point to me. Bolduc, Pajot. Yeah, I kind of want just more picks at this point. Rookie skaters, they don't really have anybody. I mean, Bolduc, but he's 22 already. Yeah, just give me another pick. Give me a third-round pick in 2 years. Like, I would do this easily. Would they? Yeah, okay, Calle Yarncrook is out. We get a second next year and a third the year after that. You know what? Do I just trade this year's picks for future, like a future first? Do I trade 36 for a future first? Maybe I could package that with something because we got our guy. We don't know anything else about this. Like, I'll show you guys. We don't know anything else about this draft class. Sim options, just sim this pick because it's about to expire. And just, oh my God, guys. Yeah, this draft might just be full of just bad players. Just bad players. There is a medium elite Pagadwan here. But I mean, there's some goalies. Hugo Havelid, Simon Wolf from Germany. I mean, look at all. Now there's a ton of Europeans with the potential, but again, they're not exactly surefire things. 2-bar medium elite is not perfect. Obviously, so many 1-bar elites. We got to get to the top 6. Okay, top 6, right? We don't know anything about this draft class, so I could move on from our picks and some of our players to see if we can get a first, right? Let's find a trade. Let's see something here. We have a couple defensemen that we probably don't need, like Jan Rutta. We don't need Jan Rutta or Olli Mata. Package him with this year's second to maybe get a next year's first, right? Taylor Hall and okay, so the Penguins are offering me 2 next year's second. We could just own the second round next year. But a next year Penguins first is they don't have it. That's the problem. I mean, 2 seconds is pretty good. I mean, where it's basically a second for Rutta, and we just kind of bump our second this year to next year. Who is the other team? I mean, San Jose's interested, but I don't think I'm getting their first from next year. Yeah, it is a very valuable first-round pick. Propose the trade. It's rejected. They even said it was woefully insufficient. What about for the Penguins first next year? It's a little less valuable. I could do this. Trade rejected. Okay, it's not where it needs to be at all. So let me see what teams would want. Right, I'll be back when I've got some trades, but I think we might move on from every pick in this draft. This is going to be wild. All right, so I called Tampa about their first in 2 seasons, which could be good because Tampa at that point may end up declining. I mean, Braden Point's in his prime, but, Stamkos, we'll need to see if they extend him, right? They got Hagel's extension coming in. I mean, Kucherov will be aging a little bit more there. Wow, the Ducks got screwed, dude. They moved down 2 spots and just get an absolutely terrible player. But I did call Tampa Bay because they're a team that I feel like could fall off in 2 seasons. Now, listen, I don't believe it's like gonna bang on happen. But I mean, the team is older, 32, 30, 33. I mean, I know they got plenty of players in their prime, but we could muck up their cap situation too by giving them a Nino Niederreiter who's got that extension. And this is cheap. Nino Niederreiter and 2 fourths is what they asked for. I'm going to offer them 1 fourth and then maybe a 6th this year as like a throw, or maybe a 7th this year as a throw in. Nino Niederreiter, I'm not going to try this. Nino Niederreiter and a 4th this year for 2 years from now's first. So we've got the 24. Oh, actually, it's 3 years from now, isn't it? Because we got the 24 draft coming up, the 25 draft, and then it would be the 26 draft. So actually, I take that back. I'm not going to do that deal. That feels way too far away to get any kind of... I mean, it could be a really good first, though. I mean, Tampa Bay is a team that, right? We've got the 24 draft next season. Or is this the... No, it is the 24 draft next season. The 25 draft. And then, that's 3 full seasons where, Kucherov will be 33. Hedman will be 35. Stamkos will be 36. Sergachev, Hagel, what's their cap situation going to be like? Looking at their goalie with Vasilevsky, he'll be 31. They'll have him. He'll be great still. So, I don't know. Something to consider, though. I'm going to keep looking. But that's where I'm at, as I am trying to get these picks back. All right, guys, I feel like this trade is a no doubt slam dunk. We get a first-round pick next year for Lars Eller, Valimaki, and a 4th. I know it's Colorado's. and they're going to be good this coming season. But, I mean, it's a first-round pick still. Lars Eller's going to have 2 more seasons. He's fine, but he's 34. Juuso Välimäki is 80 overall at 24 with low top 4, and we just have plenty of that. Plus, it's a next year's 4th, so we get a first-round pick back, and we continue to... I mean, that's beautiful. Now I'm going to start looking for 2025 first-round picks. All right, I'm going to try this trade. Dallas did offer me another one. I think it was like a 3rd-round picks next year and a 4th-round pick this year. I'm going to do this. We get a 2025 first. Dallas is one of those teams that I think will still be good at the time because, I mean, they've got a lot of young elite talent, right? Hintz, Stankoven, Heiskanen, Robertson, but it's a 2025 first, and hey, you never know. But then all of a sudden we have a first next year, a first in 2025, 2026 first won't be too hard to get. And it's Jan Rutta. I mean, this is not a guy that I'm going to be too upset about losing. 82 defensive defenseman. We've got other players that can make up for that. So we'll give it there we go. Done deal. 3rd-round pick this year in Jan Rutta. And we're looking good. We're getting some picks back. So just a quick recap, guys, on what we're looking at. We're looking at still all of our picks this year. We're pick 36, which could be used for a future pick, but we got Colorado and then 2 seconds, a 3rd next year, and then Dallas and then 2 thirds, right? So that's what we're looking at. 2026, I don't mind 2027 not having a first. Even 2026, I'm not opposed to not having a first. I might try to swing some trades now for actual players, you know, using our 2nd this year, and maybe some other aging players to get a young player from somebody. So we'll poke around, but I think we're in a much better position than I gave up 5 years worth of first, but we now have 2 of those first back. And so we only have 2 years without a first-round pick now. By 2028, we'll have our first-round pick back. So we used our first this year to draft Kondratiev. We got a first from Colorado next year. The following year, we have Dallas. And then it's just those 2 years when we're probably contending, and those firsts won't be valuable anyway. I feel like this season won't be great. I guess I'm not trying to tank anymore. I kind of need to get our first back for the upcoming season, for 2024, because I think we're going to be bad. But, you know, we could... I mean, I don't think... Yeah, we're not going to be... Okay, so I think that's what I'll do, is I'm now going to use assets to get our first for next year, even if it means expending this Colorado first to go to Columbus and get our first-round pick back. Like I said, I'm fine with, you know, the 2026. I mean, that's going to be our 3rd season in charge. We should have a good enough team by then to really make that a late first-round pick. And then by our 4th season, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. But I cannot believe I made that deal. For a guy that never trades first-round picks, I just traded 4 future firsts. So we'll see what happens now. All right, so I have a trade cooked up for our first. I don't think it's going to go through, right? But, I mean, Faksa, Colorado's first. I mean, these are the assets we acquired. Plus, we have Faksa, who's, you know, just cap hit at this point. I mean, listen, he's a good player. 81 at 29, two-way forward. I feel like we'd be fine to get our first-round pick back with this. We aren't where we need to be. That's fine, because I will give you our 2nd this year on top of all of this. So, see how this goes. This probably goes through. Trade accepted. Beautiful. So, we got our first-round pick back. Things are starting to right themselves. We don't have a 4th, but we're looking okay now. And we have a first from Dallas in 2025. We can reassess where we are, where Dallas is, where all that stuff is later. But for now, you know, we can still go through the plan of tanking this season to hopefully get another elite player, or maybe even trade our first-round pick for something established. Maybe we just do that. I don't know. Well, the future is funny. We don't know what it holds. But not to get philosophical on you guys, I don't think I'm quite done yet. I think there's a couple more forwards to trade. Defenseman-wise, Chernak, Romanov, Boqvist, Mata, Yokiharu, Brandstrom, and then I guess Miromanov would be a fine depth defenseman, and then Nikita Zaitsev, who I kind of want to get rid of because he's $4.5 million for a season. I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, because we are going to have a tougher time, I think, getting to the floor. Right? Look at that. We're now, I think, 10 million-ish from the floor. I will try to sign some players if possible, but I think there's interest in Zaitsev, so I'll see what teams are willing to give up for him. You never know, right? Maybe I'll pair Zaitsev with a 4th-round pick this year. 4th-round pick and defenseman Nikita Zaitsev. And in return, we will get a 4th and a 5th. Blake, yeah, it's not great. A 4th and a 6th. So I'll make the Zaitsev trade once I got one I like, and I'll show you guys. All right, so I'm throwing Zaitsev and a 5th together, and the San Jose Sharks want to give me Tampa Bay's 3rd round pick next year and a 7th this year, which I will snap up and say yes, please. So now we have a 4th, a 6th, and 2 7th. I mean, we could still draft somebody in this class. The thing is, usually you never get anybody outside of the top in this class. I've never found success having late round picks in the year 1 where you don't know anybody, and most of these guys I think these guys are randomly generated. It just turns out to be a really, really weak draft class, except for generally number 1, which is why I sold the farm to go up. But we have our 1st round pick back. The trade, I think, is now a Colorado 1st, Foxa, a 2nd and a 3rd this year, plus 3 future for guys. I'm so lost at where the trade stands for Kondratiev, but he's a franchise player. He's gonna alter the course of this franchise, and I'm very excited for it. So I think more trades to be done for sure in the forward core, and we'll see what comes of that, but not much in the way of drafting. So we can probably get to free agency after the trades are done. All right, so I know I said I didn't really want to move up in this class or do anything too much about drafting in this class, but when I'm offering 102 and 168 and I'm going up to 58 with Edmonton, it just kind of feels like a no-brainer. I did look around there. There's a couple goalies that I may want to take, or I may just shop this pick because it's a 2nd, but a 4th and a 6th to get a 2nd is kind of a no-brainer, and I'll do a this year's 2nd too. So we can then shop the pick. I mean, there's other offers now out there. Guys like Killorn are available. I don't know if I don't think he's actually European, but I'm not. It's something that I've never really considered all that in depth, but you can see, yeah, there is some. I mean, like there's guys like Marcus Johansson here and a 4th. Like that could be an option to help get us a little bit more help now, but that's not exactly what we're looking for. So I mean, there's options out there. Barabanov and a 4th. I mean, none of this is really crazy good. There's Klingberg, but we don't need more defensemen. Bertuzzi would be crazy, but fortunately, he's not European. So yeah, at 58, I think we may take somebody here. So we're going to go ahead, just jump up to that pick 58. Lots of stuff happening. Wolf is a backup goaltender. I was looking at Ewan Hue. He's looks good. 4 years away. I don't know about him. There's Yuri Frolov, who's potentially 3 years away. I don't know. There's Wisniewski. There's Malkin. Okay, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there was Axels Azolos, who I think we've got a little bit more. He's not quite as good looking as Ewan Hue, who's coming from the WHL. Breakaways, puck handling. Puck handling is number 1. I don't know. We don't really know anything about him, but I'm going to take the swing on him because I think there were a couple goalies that went before him, like Wolf. Let's see. Was there another goalie? I feel like there was, but Rousseau, right? When you see a real face in this first class, it's just, it doesn't end up turning out good. Like Hugo Havelid here, right? Medium starter at 69. That's like somebody you can bank on, but he's 19, right? So if we go back to our pick, Hue here is only 18, and he's 4 years away from the NHL. That's what's exciting me. The fact that he's only 4 years away rather than the 5 years away. He's at the top here. He's ranked 58th. We're gonna just take the pick, and we are gonna get a medium frickin' A. We are not gonna get anything close to the same value. So I am now just gonna end up trading the picks that I have. Hue is that just pretty much confirms that we don't know anything. We can get Kampfer. All right, nobody's gonna give me a 2nd for him. So we probably would have been better off using the 2nd to go get something else, or maybe some future picks. Yeah, no, American, get out of here. Okay. So I'm going to trade the 7th and we can get into free agency. So we have now reached free agency with a lot of money to play with. 27 million available, and there's not really anybody out there, right? I mean, there's Taze, Kessel, Bonino, DeKaiser, right? So it's that first free agency. We aren't going to be able to just splash cash however we want. And we, again, need to look at, like, Edler as an option, or, I mean, not Stahl. Man, there's not... Oh, geez. This is going to be interesting. I do have to sign a bunch of players for the AHL, but we did make one trade. I gave up Guryanov and Yolanin and the 2 7ths, and we got Where is he? He's probably in the system here. Yeah, Sikora here. We've got Adam Sikora, 70 overall. One thing I'm actually curious about. Do I leave Kondratiev unsigned and let him just dominate whatever league he's playing in over in Europe? Well, here in Europe, I should say. And he could just be like an 86 overall rookie, something like that, something crazy, and we give him the ELC because we're not trying to compete this year, right? So could be an option. Let me know your thoughts. But Sikora, traded for him, medium top 6 at 18, 72 way forward. Looks really well-rounded, hoping he does develop nicely, but other than that, nobody was needed to be re-signed. As far as expiring contracts, guys like Arvidsson, Teravainen, Jokiharju, Brandstrom, like there's a lot of guys that are now on expiring deals. What does Teravainen want, just to give us an idea? 5x5 for a guy like him, I feel like it would be a smart, that's a smart use of dollars, I'd say. 5 years at $5 million for him. He's an 85. Give him that extension, and I think that's the only thing we're going to do. Arvidsson is 30. I mean, I know he's 2 years younger. He's not quite as good, and we got to let the rest of them play to see how they look, right? And we got Lankinen, who is expiring. Main roster is still Gustafsson and Lankinen, with Annunen being in the system. So that is that. As far as players to sign, we're not getting anybody to sign that is going to make an impact to the team immediately. Really, the decision I have now, guys, is do I play my medium franchise, Ivan Kondratiev, or do I let him just dominate? What league is he in? It doesn't tell me. Okay. Let him dominate in the KHL, just guessing, and then come back as an 85, 86 overall. I've done that before. I just let my medium I just leave him unsigned because I know the team's going to be bad and I don't want them to get morale or anything like that. So just leave him unsigned, let him dominate. That's where I'm leaning now. Bring him in next year as a kind of a 1-2 punch with whoever we get at the top of the next year's draft class. And then roll with that, because I mean, honestly, guys, sticking him in between Teravainen and Hoglander, is it really going to be the best thing for his development, or do we just want him to dominate and be like in the mid 80s, up 86 is what I'm thinking. 85 is what he'll be in like a year. So I've seen that done before. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to sign some AHL players, and we'll probably just simulate straight away. So we've finally made it up to the beginning of the season where we get to edit the lines. No, I have not signed Kondratiev yet, but here are the lines that it's starting with the season. They've got Barbashev, who actually can play center. 75 faceoffs isn't too terrible. And yeah, he's between Arvidsson right now, and wow, he fits the first line perfectly. Nils Hoglander is a perfect fit for the second line. Do we get a +1 up there with him? But Hoglander, I'm okay. What about Capo Caco? Ooh, he fits the first line perfectly. Sorry, just completely jumbled my words there. But Arvidsson up doesn't help us out much at all. But a +2 with Teravainen, Barbashev, and then Capo Caco's getting first line ice time. Niederreiter, Luotsarainen, Hoglander. I like that a lot. Janmark with Nosek and Arvidsson, and then Silfverberg, Prota, and Boqvist. So I think, I mean, can I move him up here? And yeah, I'd rather give Prota a bit more ice time. And then Janmark for Boqvist? No, that doesn't work. Who does anybody like the third line down here? No, the third line is going to be a toughie to find players that fit. Arvidsson is not that player. But that's fine. I think it's looking good right now. Prota fits up here better than Luotsarainen, but I mean, he is 22, right? So I'd rather give the 22 high top 9 rather than the 25 medium top 6. I don't know, but that's kind of what the team looks like right now. Reminder, I do intend to tank, so it's not supposed to look great. Brandstrom and Boqvist are not a great combo, but Boqvist and Mata are. Holy cow. Mata is, what is he, Finnish, Swedish? Then we've got, I think, Slovakian? I think that's Slovakian. And then Russian. Oh, man, we got a blue line full of players. Jokiharju, yeah, apparently the nationality doesn't mean anything. So does anybody fit the top line really well? Or no, Boqvist still fits the same. Only Mata does. We get a +2, but I like the +3 between Boqvist and Mata. Obviously, in goal is Gustafsson and Lankinen. Scratched. I gave Edler $2.5 million. I kind of want to make him the captain. I don't know why, just for season number 1, but I gave him $2.5 million to basically not retire. At 37, he's not going to be part of the future of the team at all. But I could get Toropchenko in there probably over a guy like Silfverberg. Silverberg has how many years remaining? Yeah, this is last year on his deal, so Toropchenko still gets us a +1 there. I mean, we could substitute out Matthias Janmark, but I do kind of like the idea of a two-way forward there. Toropchenko, yeah, move Toropchenko up, Boqvist up. Yeah, no, we'll leave it the way it is. But that's the team, guys. Let me know your thoughts about Kondratiev, about this challenge, about the storyline and the team. I'm pretty excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting because there's a lot of guys that I was like ready to give a contract to, like, oh yeah, I'll just sign this guy for the AHL. I'm like, wait, no, I can't do that because, yes, guys, even the AHL is all European. Like Leo Komarov, we got Finnish, German, Finnish, wow, lots of Finnish, Swedish, Slovakian, Swedish. Yeah, guys, trust me, I did go ahead and sign everybody. Oh, I do want Sikora up like where Toby Reeder is. Absolutely. We're just going to kind of move everybody down a little bit. And then there we go. Sikora on the first line. Cool with that. Maybe somebody instead of Sorella get us a better up there. No, it doesn't look like it. Lodin. Yeah, you know what? Lodin is 24. Put him up there. Anyway, the team, I promise, every single rostered player is European. So it's going to be a fun journey. It'll be fun to see what we do. Kondratiev, we gave 5 first-round picks, and, well, 4 future firsts to pick Kondratiev. But that's all the time I have for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I'm really excited to read them and hear your guys' thoughts on this one. Leave a like if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all.